Hi everyone, I bet you're all wondering what I'm actually doing here sitting on a park bench talking into a video. Well, I would like to actually bring attention to something that is very close to my heart. It's basically mental illnesses, whether it's depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, bipolar. A lot of people who do not suffer from these things, they basically don't understand what goes through somebody who's suffering on a day-to-day basis. Now, it is very hard, but let me give you a little insight into myself first. My name's John. I joined the Royal Navy in 1974. I left in 1985. I was a physical training instructor. I was also a member of the Portsmouth Command Field Gun crew that ran at Earls Court in 78, 84. I was also a ship's diver. If you go back to 1982, I was actually on HMS Company during the Falklands War when she was bombed. She exploded, or the bombs exploded on impact. She capsized within 20 minutes, and basically the rest is sort of history. I left the mob 85 and I went commercial diving. I was working a little bit in the North Sea, not much, Middle East, West Africa. When I was in the Middle East, I was working up at or diving in Carg Island when the Iraq-Iran war was on. I was in Qatar when the Gulf War started, and I was also off Angola when they had the civil war going on there. I kept on diving. I finished my diving career basically about 2005, and that's when everything went wrong. Don't know why, but I suffered from anxiety, depression. I put my wife and 3 children through basically hell, and I ended up in a big black hole, and that was terrible. However, I was seeing a therapist, and I was actually diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, and that was in 2015. And it all stemmed from initially the Falklands War. I ended up having therapy. I did 6 weeks intensive work, and I came back. Hopefully it was all going to be, things were going to improve, everything was going well up there, all the trauma work, that was very good. However, when I came back, it was like coming back into another open world again. I had a wife who'd been my rock for years, which was really, really good. I don't know how the hell she put up with me at the time, but I suppose that's love for you. Unfortunately, she'd been suffering from anxiety and depression as well. She was diagnosed with bipolar. That was a big shock to us all. A big one for me, because I, for years, had a wife as a rock. Now I had to become the rock, and I have found that very difficult. It is a struggle not knowing what is going to happen each day. You don't know how you're going to feel when you get up. You don't know what's going on, but you have to move on. I got a lot of help from a couple of organisations up here, military organisations. One of them put me in touch with a adventure training coach. She was really marvellous. She really helped me a great deal. When you're seeing a therapist or a psychologist, you're talking about the bad side of things a lot of the time to make them better, to improve. However, my adventure training coach, she looked at all my positives right from as far back as I could remember. We put them all down on paper, and she worked with each item I wrote down. We found there was a big common denominator, and that was the start of the help that made me realise certain things, which brought me forward. One of the big things I have to say about PTSD, etc., is in a way I laughed when I was diagnosed, because I can't suffer from PTSD because I was in the Navy. I wasn't front line. I wasn't hand combat or anything like that. But unfortunately, PTSD can happen to lots and lots of different people. It could happen to nurses with the things that they see. It can happen to civilians as well, because you go through a trauma or something really bad happens, and it just becomes a nightmare, and it sticks until you can put the thing to rest properly. So I'm now moving on slowly. One of my things in my tool belt, as it were, is I'm going to be doing the Fan Dance race next year over Penny Fen. I'm going to be doing it for charity. It's the SES selection route. And this has given me a goal, it's given me a target, it's given me a sense of purpose, but that sense of purpose is also helping me to improve myself in general. One of the reasons I decided to do this was on Saturday night. I had a bit of a flashback, and you just can't help it, it happens. I'm not going to go into any detail of it, but when it happens, you just totally lose it. And if there's people around you who don't realise what has happened to you, they just think you're an idiot, you're a fool, it's just one of those things. So I had to get up the next day and I don't know, go through it, talk about it to myself, and move forward. So that is basically it at the minute, but things are moving on. I'm just totally aware that, or I believe that there are so many people that don't understand mental health issues when somebody has actually got those, because they keep them quiet. And in a way, when you've got these sort of issues, you can have it's like an ego and a Tigger lifestyle. One day you're bouncing around, the next day you're just nothing, you know. So anyway, it's just an insight, but I really want to get this sort of thing, you know, spread round. I don't know what's going to happen next. This is just a trial for me, but I just want to make it aware, everybody aware of how the PTSD, bipolar, all mental health issues, right, aren't tackled the right way. You need to talk to people all the time, and that gives you help, it gives you confidence. One of the things I found is when I'm making phone calls, I stutter a lot, I get agitated, but as soon as I say to them, by the way, I suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, I have a little bit of a stutter, that seems to put the whole thing at ease, and it helps me cope with the situation I'm in. I'm going to leave it at that. I'd like to think I might do another one, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But all of you, take care. Thank you.